Hey everyone, welcome to Basically Sci-Fi, the short story writing podcast of stories you can basically call sci-fi. Thanks for searching our key terms. My name's Todd.
I'm Jared.
Hey Jared, what's up?
Oh, usual. Just getting by.
Just getting by. Barely holding on.
It's a struggle.
Oh man.
Oh, but actually, my sister just had a baby. That's news.
Congratulations to your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although you actually told me that before, but...
It's not like this is the only time we speak.
You're breaking the illusion.
Fair enough. I won't speak to you other than on here from now on.
Thank you. That way I will definitely not have anyone to talk to ever.
Not even Tomo.
Welcome to the Struggle Cast. I'm lonely and he...
Yep.
Yup. Although, let me see. What can I say that will not particularly date the episode?
James Comey spoke before Senate today.
Let me see. I don't know. I guess recently I've been working more than usual. Yeah.
They bumped up your hours, or you just needed the money?
No. They just actually want me to go to work.
Oh, right. You said you lost your class where you just sat around for a couple hours and got paid for a full day.
Well, yeah.
That's too bad. That was a cushy gig.
I know. Yeah. It was a bunch of kids, but the school couldn't actually book that many kids at the school.
Huh.
So when it was just empty, they were like, all right, you can go. So I've had a little bit less time to write. How about you? How's your writing been going?
I moved apartments and all that jazz. Had a couple other things crop up, so I've been writing when I can, but it's not as often as I would like. I got a bunch done today, though, and last weekend.
Oh, you just finished it today?
No, I started my next story today. I finished this one last weekend.
Oh, cool. And that was possible because we've already shared our prompts for next time with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah. Hey, what were our prompts for this episode?
I believe mine was terraforming. And yours was vacuums.
Yes. I like these phrases that can be interpreted.
Yeah.
Like terraforming?
I mean, vacuum can be interpreted.
Yes. When I was thinking about terraforming, there's not really... I mean, terraforming's a thing that kind of we all know about. You know, if you consume sci-fi media, you know about it, but it's not actually a thing, so...
No, I'm aware of that. It's still a sci-fi term, though.
Yeah. Even if it's not, in practice yet, I thought it was something that was, kind of well thought out, at least.
Yeah, terraforming's pretty well run through idea. There have been a few different interpretations, and most notably the Alien franchise, with 2 where they went back to LV-426.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen Alien.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one's the best. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone always thinks the second one was the best, but the second one was just a dumb action movie.
Whoa!
That's gonna get a lot of people angry. You're welcome.
Welcome to the controversy cast.
No, well, I mean, the first one was a great just a stellar horror movie. And then the second one, it was just an action movie. It was a bunch of guys with guns shooting the shit out of these aliens, whereas like the first one was a really suspenseful, dark. You only saw the alien towards the end of the movie in its full-grown size.
Yeah, man, they did the same thing with the Chronicles of Riddick.
I mean, a better comparison would be the Dead Space games, but yeah, Chronicles of Riddick as well.
Another controversial opinion. I like Chronicles of Riddick.
I liked Pitch Black.
Well, of course I like Pitch Black, but I also liked Riddick.
Yeah, no, I was saying I liked Pitch Black. I don't know as I ever saw the other ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like that's less controversial than never having seen Alien.
You already said before, our prompts for this week were vacuums and terraforming, or terraforming and vacuums.
Yeah, you can use them in either combination.
Or not combined at all.
Yeah, no, mine weren't combined either.
No, mine aren't combined. Not like, and then they used a vacuum to suck the extra land out of Earth's fat butt.
I should have used that line. No. No, that would have been entirely out of place.
Well, that's mine anyway. I'm adding it in.
All right.
So, as always, I'll ask, do you want to go first, or should I?
You go ahead.
All right, I guess I might as well just confirm.
Yeah.
All right. This story is called Irate Pirates Full of Piss and Vinegar.
Fair enough.
Well, there's a dash there. Piss and vin-iger.
Oh. Vin as in French for wine?
Maybe. Or maybe Vin as in my love for the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, you do love you some Diesel.
Oh man, do I?
But no, why the hyphen? I don't understand your thinking.
That's okay. It'll all make sense.
You sure?
Right. Yep. Irate pirates full of piss and vinegar. Okay. Here we go. Man, this place, this space station, was looking sci-fi as fuck. Aliens of all stripes were there. There were jack-off bird Climax avians, the dapper squid people of planet Ikafry, plain old boring humans, for the sake of casting in any future television or film properties, who are the most populous throughout the universe. And even some of the reclusive greys, who look pretty much how you expect. Everyone was riding escalators and wearing bathrobes, because this was the first official gathering of the Galactic Society of Friends.
They have their towels with them?
Yeah. Years ago, when the Dark Lord Edeth first awoke his powers, he and his taxi driver, Iggy88, had decided to directly confront the Society to demand the whereabouts of the 4 dark crystals. Unfortunately, no such society actually existed back then. So Dark Lord Edeth, at the time, just went planet to planet murdering people with space magic, demanding them to tell him where the Galactic Society of Friends was hiding. The various alien peoples of the universe decided that perhaps they could stop his rampage if they actually founded some kind of space UN. These guys went all out in its construction, decking it out in gold, equipping it with all kinds of luxurious amenities, like neon lights and waxing parlors. It was located in the exact center of the universe, trying to make it as conspicuous as possible so Lord Edeth would be able to easily find it. There were billboards posted throughout the universe reading, "Now open, Galactic Society of Friends, all Dark Lords welcome." Weirdly enough, though, Edeth was already dead. having met his end on the fantasy-themed faraway tourist planet of Meteoria 7. The news hadn't spread yet, though, because 24/7 news networks had long been universally banned for being a colossal waste of time.
Woke truth there.
Yeah. Again, not putting a timestamp on this. Comey. And Ika Phrygian had been elected to lead this council because they were well known to be the most accommodating and easily manipulated race in the galaxy. No one else would have agreed to lead the council because Edeth made it a policy to always explode the eyeballs of anyone holding the top leadership position of any government, planet, or after-school club he came into contact with.
What a dick.
Edeth could then only negotiate with the lowest-ranking person in the room, so only the Ika Phrygian leader was appointed as Supreme Guy in Charge. All other representatives held the title of Intern. Supreme Guy in Charge, Chancellor Yoayuki, held up a tentacle and commanded as confidently as he could. "Hey, everyone! Hey! Okay! Come to order! Can we start?" The sound of his gavel signifying the start rang through the auditorium. Most of the other representatives were still sitting around in flying chairs, chatting about which parts of the new Galactic Society of Friends space station they thought were coolest. Most agreed it was the laser tag chamber, but there were some who preferred the less rigidly formal setting of the bouncy castle. "Come to order! Come to order! Does everyone have a coffee or cocoa?" The representative's ears perked up at cocoa. "Yes, there is a cocoa in the corner if anyone wants some." After about another 15 minutes, everyone had either coffee or cocoa, but they definitely really had to get this meeting started because it was only scheduled to be 40 minutes long. "Stenographer, let the record show that it took everyone here 15 minutes to settle down, and that if you guys keep behaving like this, maybe next time there won't be any hot drinks for anyone. First on the agenda is finding the 4 dark crystals to give to Lord Edeth. So, can I see a show of hands, or tentacles, or otherwise, of any planets currently in possession of a dark crystal?" No one raised their hands. A depressing silence engulfed the room. Without the dark crystals, how could they face the Dark Lord? Finally, one hand was raised. The Asphyxian representative, a small, impish figure, wearing a mask, whose race could only breathe properly in the vacuum of a black hole, gasped out, "In our eternal void, we hold 3 of the crystals that you may deem as dark, but for we who are blind, just refer to as hard." There was a murmur among the other interns. A human intern approached Guy in Charge Yoayuki and whispered in his ear hole. The guy in charge spoke. "It has come to the attention of this assembly that the Asphyxian gentleman is a liar and a butt, so his comments will be stricken from the record." The Asphyxian wheezed as he laughed and sat back down. Yoayuki spoke again. "As no one in the universe had heard of the Dark Crystals until the appearance of Dark Lord Edeth and the start of the Space War, we are presented with only one other option. The intern from the Earth Federation has suggested opening a kissing booth staffed by the hottest actors and actresses around the universe. Each kiss will cost 1 dark crystal. What do you guys think?" Before the merits of such a plan could be discussed, the sound of a laser pistol being fired interrupted the interns. A figure stood clad entirely in purple leather, which, I'm gonna stop you right now, looked really cool.
Oh, yeah?
Because it was accentuated with more black belts than a Tetsuya Nomura character.
And that reference is beyond me.
That's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I haven't played any of those games.
What?
You knew that.
I knew that. He spun his pistol on his finger and holstered it next to his 5 other pistols strapped to his chest. He was readier for war than Eric Harris and Dylan Keybold. That was... You get that reference?
Nope.
That's Columbine.
Jesus. How the hell was I supposed to know their names? That was years ago.
Alright, sorry to all our Columbine fans.
Jesus. You should cut that joke.
Maybe I'll just cut the part where I explain it.
Yeah.
The man spoke to the assembled bunch of pussies. My name's Vin. The interns were silent. An intern. A real intern, as in a guy who wasn't being paid to be there, and would never get a job in his desired field, because getting coffee for a guy with the job you want will never count as the 2 to 5 years experience that employers require for entry-level positions. Anyway, that intern brought Vin a microphone. Hi? He tapped the mic. Okay, my name's Vin. The interns gasped. Vin, a.k.a. the Purple Pirate of Love, was notorious across all systems, planets, prefectures, and school cliques. Yoayuki addressed Vin directly. Vin, a.k.a. the Purple Pirate of Love. Even a half-breed lowlife, such as yourself, must know that this society of friends has gathered for the sole purpose of finding a way to either defeat or submit entirely to the Dark Lord Edeth. We have no booty that you may be interested in. The Asphyxian wheeze laughed again. Yoayuki glared at him, and then continued. I only let you speak now, because we have yet to staff any security, which now seems like a gross oversight, and you have a bunch of guns. But, perhaps, do you know where the dark crystals are? We are desperate. Vin lifted the brim of his purple hat to reveal a face that was half green and half something else. Like, split exactly down the middle, because that's how mixed race works in space.
Yeah, just like Two-Face.
Yeah, like Two-Face, exactly.
He was mixed-raced.
Yeah. He was mixed human and something
human
else.
And burnt human.
I don't know where the dark crystals are, but I know how to find them. Yoayuki interrupted. Did you hear our suggestion of opening a kissing booth? Is that your idea? Vin tipped the brim of his purple hat back down and sighed. Wow, you lot must be desperate. We all know that the universe is infinite and ever-expanding, containing infinite possibility and adventure. But what if I told you there was a way to limit those possibilities and narrow down our possible futures only to those we desire to see? The Ratscallion intern, really swole from the nearby yellow sun, spoke in a booming voice without the aid of a microphone. Bro, how would that help us defeat Edeth? Well, bro, responded Vin, if we could shrink the universe down to a more manageable size, then the crystals wouldn't be as hard to find. Not really that complicated. Now that was a great sci-fi sounding idea. Way better than a kissing booth. Nonetheless, there had to be at least one party pooper. So, the cyborg Skepticon intern interrupted. How the hell do you plan to shrink the fucking universe, you dumb shit half-breed pirate-ass scummy scoundrel? The Skepticons were well known for their finely honed name-calling abilities and their rock-solid belief systems. Good question. I think that's my favorite joke in there.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Good question. But, seeing as we live in a universe of infinite possibilities, trust me that shrinking the universe is something that is easily done. Even the immovable Skepticon couldn't find a flaw in that logic. Only I, Vin, the purple pirate of love, have ventured beyond the edge of the universe. I reject the laws of your universe, both man-made and natural. Here, at its center, we will create a black hole that sucks hard enough to stop the universe from expanding. I'll make everything suck, 'cause everything does suck, and you all are gonna help me. Most of the interns had stopped listening at that point, as their thoughts had drifted back to the ball pit and laser tag. Vin fired his real-ass laser into the air again and demanded, "What say you?" Since the gathered interns had only heard half the ideas before it got all crazy and evil, they easily agreed to whatever plan the pirate had concocted. It at least had to be better than a kissing booth. The Skepticon intern had to be a buzzkill again, though, and asked stupidly, "How would a colossal black hole stop the universe from expanding, you weak, stupid cumbucket?" Vin again sighed and shook his head. "I've seen beyond the edge of the universe. The edge. This plane is flat. Imagine a piece of paper with a black hole in the center. The black hole would tug at the four corners in towards the center." "Like origami!" Yoayuki exclaimed, getting it. "See? This guy gets it." The Ratscallion intern threw his cocoa mug at the Skepticon. "Stop asking dumb questions, fuckboy!" And with that, the 40 minutes was up, and all the interns started to file out of the auditorium. It was pretty much decided that the Galactic Society of Friends would go along with Vin's plan. Believe it or not, listeners, their laziness would put reality as they knew it at peril. With his mission easily accomplished, Vin returned to his pirate ship called the New Australia. It was a traditional pirate ship in the sense that there was a mermaid with huge knockers as the figurehead on the outer shell of the ship. But it was a little unusual in that Vin's pirate ship was actually an entire terraformed planet encased in a protective shell, with giant space rocket thrusters and dice on the mirror. Vin was teleported back to the helm of the New Australia, located in the capital, the Isle of Tortuga. You may notice I didn't say New Isle of Tortuga or New Tortuga, because literally Vin had stolen the island of Tortuga from planet Earth and grafted it to his ship. This was how Vin's entire ship had been constructed, by stealing whole islands and cities that he liked from planets around the universe, inhabitants and all. Awaiting Vin at the helm was his crew. First to approach was Vin's quartermaster, Alabaster Garfield. "Welcome back, Captain. How went the parley?" Vin responded curtly. "Fine." "Did they agree to the plan?" pressed Alabaster. "Hey, quartermaster, why don't you quartermaster me up some rum? I'll be in my quarters." The rest of Vin's crew muttered a meek, "Welcome back, Captain," and shuffled out of Vin's way. Vin's captain's quarters was a 17th century governor's mansion that Vin had completely renovated, but then spray-painted a bunch of anarchy symbols onto. Vin kicked the door of his mansion in, passed through the ballroom, up the spiral staircase to his bedroom. There he lit a space cigarette, collapsed on the couch, and put his boots up on the table. A framed photo was on the table next to his boot. It was a photo of a beautiful green alien woman. Just one look at the woman revealed that she was a warrior. Her face bore the scars from her time as an invader. But in this photo, she was smiling. A man stood behind her, arms wrapped around her waist, and he was something else. Suddenly, Vin began to cough. He spit out his cigarette, but it was already extinguished. He heard a door close, and Vin turned to look behind him, eyes red from rage and lack of oxygen. Sorry to interrupt, Purple Pirate, but I couldn't let you follow through with your plan. Vin quickly stood and grabbed the source of the laugh by the throat. He pulled the small-robed figure up to his face to get a better look and mean-mug him. It was the Asphyxian intern from the Galactic Society of Friends. Vin immediately dropped him and sank to his knees, clutching at his throat. Ah! You scared me for a second there, Purple Pirate. You're still pretty strong considering I've removed all the oxygen from the room. How can that be? Did you know Asphyxians' bodies naturally absorb oxygen? It's dangerous to be in a small room like this with one. Oh, you're in no state to talk now, are you? The Asphyxian dusted off his bathrobe as Vin struggled to breathe. Sure, it's easy enough to just dump stuff you don't need into a black hole and forget about it. But we Asphyxians live there, and your black hole plan would sure make a mess of things for us. Vin's eyes began to roll back into his head, and his vision was fading. Goodbye, Purple Pirate. As Vin was about to fall unconscious, the door opened, and walked in Alabaster Garfield with a barrel of rum. With the door open, fresh air flooded back into the room. Without a word, Vin picked up 2 laser pistols from the holsters and riddled the Asphyxian with holes. Good timing, Alabaster. I thought for a second there you'd forgotten about my rum. Alabaster smiled. You still in a bad mood, Captain? Are you kidding me? Vin flung the door open to the balcony and took a deep breath. The rest of Vin's crew was assembled on the lawn of his estate. Listen here, you scurvy space swabs. Drinks on me tonight. It's a fucking party, boys. The crew erupted into cheers as Vin turned to go back inside. Alabaster dropped the rum and slung the dead intern over his shoulder. What do you want me to do with him? Bring him. He's invited to the party too. Guest of honor on behalf of the Galactic Society of Fools. Give him a seat at the head of the table, and don't let his cup go dry. Ha ha ha, Alabaster laughed. First corpse of the night, and the party hunting started. Won't be the last. My plans started without a hitch, and I feel like fucking shit up. The end.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. No more Ari for the moment.
No, yeah, I knew you were switching characters, or switching up your characters.
Yeah, did I mention that on the show before?
I think you did last time. Or at least you told me at some point.
Yeah, anyway. I'm pretty excited to start doing space pirate stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the Galactic Society of Friends, though, that's something. I don't know. They didn't seem particularly friendly to each other.
I don't know. That was, I mean, you get a whole bunch of different types of people in a room, and, you know, they're not going to be able to agree on everything.
Fair enough.
You got Climax Avians, and Asphyxians, and Rat Scallions.
Autoerotic Asphyxians.
That was a, I feel like the joke didn't really, go through, but that was a throwback to the Rat Scallion from episode 1.
Yeah.
Whose, story was supposed to be very reminiscent of Superman. But in this one, there actually was a yellow sun nearby, so...
Yeah.
The Rat Scallions are huge.
I guess
not little bitches.
Guess I missed that.
Yeah. That's why he was all broy.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
I didn't think it needed to make sense at the time.
No, it works without knowing what's going on, but...
Yeah, bros are funny enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm excited to have, like, new races and new aliens and all kinds of stuff going on. It's good to, like, be sci-fi.
It's always good to switch things up a bit.
Sweetie, I told you that I'm recording with Jared.
You didn't tell me.
I did. I sent you a message. Just because you didn't get it doesn't mean I didn't tell you.
Hey, Tomo.
Jared says hi.
Hello, Jaredy. I just came to see the birthday boy.
Oh yeah, it's my birthday.
Oh shit, happy birthday.
And I heard your conversation and I didn't feel like you were recording it.
We are recording, just...
Nope, he's just sitting there talking to himself.
Anyway. Well,
That's
thank
fine.
you for coming in.
It was a good...
We've still got to listen to Jared's
It was a good point to come
story.
in, at least.
What?
I said it was a good point to come in, at least.
Did I ruin like half an hour of recording?
You didn't ruin anything.
No, we can just cut it out.
I'll just cut it out, or I'll leave it in to hear your cutie voice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey guys, this is Tomodomo.
Yeah, we gotta cut it.
Is it good enough for YouTube listeners?
Yes, of
No.
course.
Okay.
Yay. Okay, so can
So
you
much better than she
girls
can't hear me.
leave?
Okay, Donkey.
Yeah, sorry, she can't hear you. I've got the headphone in still.
Yeah, I figured that much out.
I miss you, Jaredy.
Yeah, I miss you too, Tomo.
He misses you too.
Oh.
So, we've still got to listen to Jared's story.
Okay. We're leaving, Kissy. Let's go.
Dumbass.
Let's go.
Kissy just bashed her head into the door. Jared lets go, and she's just slammed her head into the door like, no!
Oh, shit.
Oh well, I'll see how good that sounds. Maybe I'll leave some of it in later.
Yeah. At very least, leaving the part where your dog just walked into a door. And then your immediate response was to call her a fucking idiot.
Well, she's fine. She does that all the time.
So does my parents' dog, except it's because she's blind, because she's old. How do we transition this?
Well, thanks for listening to my story, guys. Up next is Jared.
Who?
With the same prompts. Does your story have a title this time?
Yes, I came up with one moments before we started. Somewhere.
You mean at the same time I did? Wow.
Well, except I figured mine out in about 10 seconds and you took 20 minutes. But...
Uh-huh.
Mine's called A Tale of the Extremities of Hygiene.
Whoa.
And
I was thinking arms and legs, but the extent that one will go to for good hygiene.
Yeah, something like that. It has nothing to do with the actual story, but that's the title.
Great, okay. I was excited to hear about why brushing matters.
I'm pretty sure MST3K did a episode where they had a personal hygiene short that they made fun of.
Well, you can't convince me that brushing is important. Or flossing. I call it the devil's bristles.
Yeah, that I do not doubt.
No.
Okay, so, extremities. Hygiene. Yep. Alright.
Hit me with it. I need it.
You want it?
I want it.
You need
I need it.
I don't remember what that's
I'm about
from.
to asphyxiate myself here.
Yeah, I know. Came like 3 times.
Why? You only need to be here once.
Exactly. Okay, anyways, I should probably just start this.
Yep.
Paragon Expansion Company had been down on their luck. It was some time since their last project. They had set about terraforming an ice planet, only to find that beneath said ice, there was a thriving colony of vicious, mouse-sized bacteria whose particular way of saying hello to a new species involved causing the spleens of their visitors to explode.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
This poor corporation.
Yeah. Just quietly melting all the ice.
Ugh.
Then their spleens blow up.
Oh, God.
After losing half of their workforce and all of their reputation, spent the last 10 years on hiring and working their name back into its proper standing on smaller jobs in rural parts of the universe. One such job being on Earth, where at the owner's request they changed the climate in Idaho to a subtropical paradise.
Ooh.
And then back again when the citizens complained of a rash of malaria outbreaks.
And a lack of potatoes.
Well, Idaho later chose to just move to California and be done with it.
Okay.
Anyhow, Paragon was finally ready to re-enter the terraforming world. They elected to do so with a bang. The suitable planet was found in the Cartwheel Galaxy. Its volcanic nature meant that most other companies weren't interested in the long time and high prices involved in the project. This made it a perfect candidate, however, for Paragon. Just the splashy kind of bullshit I imagined would make an impression in, well, this imagined scenario.
Wait, who's I?
Me. This is a little breaking of the fourth wall.
Okay. I mean, you're telling the story, but you imagine it would make a splash.
Yes, in this imagined scenario.
Uh-huh.
The foreman of this project was one of the few survivors from the earlier terraforming projects. Though back then he was a mere oxygen pumper, Thel was not looking forward to his new assignment. He generally considered his superiors at the company to be entirely incompetent. He had a laundry list of complaints, starting with the company's decision to promote him.
He just wanted to pump oxygen.
He had been plenty happy in his previous position as head of carbon dioxide regulators, a position he was promoted to for his species' particular ability to transform carbon into worthless diamonds, which was nonetheless useful for some reason. Can't quite pin that down. Thel, it should be said, was from a race of surprisingly advanced brandy. Had been
Uh-huh.
that had taken a life of its own after being left in not quite sealed casks that were then exposed to the primordial sludge of a forming planet. It isn't known who left the brandy on the planet, but it's assumed that it was a struggling musician who wanted to hide his stash from his bandmates and ultimately forgot where it was.
Oh. Okay.
The brandy people had evolved into the form of a barrel. Because of their unique ancestry, they were unable to get intoxicated, and therefore it advanced it in remarkable time. Where it takes most civilizations millennia just to achieve flight, after the discovery of booze and subsequent years of trying to figure out how to best supply themselves with it, Thel's people developed flight within a century of creating writing and achieved interplanetary flight within the next 10 minutes of that. It also helped that they excrete rocket fuel. We're pretty disinterested in harming each other.
These guys are the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that race. I went on a bit of a tangent about them because they make me laugh.
Except that they excrete rocket fuel, which and they're shaped like barrels. That, if nothing else, that proves that there is no God.
Yeah, exactly. It's evolution.
Yep.
Man. Except I don't know why a barrel shape would be in any way evolutionarily advantageous.
Especially since none of them drink.
Yeah.
It doesn't help attract a mate.
You don't know that.
Well, I guess so.
Sometimes you gotta fuck a barrel.
I mean, that's why it's got that hole in the side, right?
No, that's to pour the liquid out of it.
Oh.
Okay, I guess I should get back to the story.
Uh-huh.
Oh, actually, the next line is, but I've gotten off topic. Thel didn't like the idea of going back into terraforming. He suspected, though he didn't know why, possibly my personal fancy, that this was a doomed project. They'd been quick about trying to get the job off the ground and hadn't done adequate preliminary safety checks. Instead, they had sent a small flock of ducks and checked to see how many survived and for how long. The ducks did surprisingly well, lasting for a whole 30 seconds before bursting into flames. It was then decided that everything was just fine. So it began. Their initial team sat down and erected the command center on the first piece of solid ground they came to. Well, we might as well get this started then. First off, Grom, that's one N, not to be confused with Hellscream. I want you to implant the grounderizers at 20-mile intervals. Bomble, you get the airizers running at the poles. Dombey, you set up your waterators. 2 in the northern hemisphere and 1 in the south.
These names.
Yeah, finding the names is the best part. Just writing random letters that sound funny together.
It always makes your characters really easy to keep track of.
Yeah, except for that one time where I made them all rhyming. That took me so long to write the rest of that story. I had to keep going back and checking on who was who. The 3 department heads were quite unique individuals as well, and unequaled in their abilities. Grom is a Martian, but not just any Martian. He has a unique ability to turn any liquid into a solid. He was responsible for removing all the oceans from Mars, because he wanted more places to walk around. He was, of course, immediately exiled for essentially destroying his planet.
Whoa.
In the intervening years... Huh?
I mean, that puts a timestamp on where this universe exists.
I mean, it exists, like, since Mars hasn't had oceans.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Really...
A long, long time ago.
Mars still doesn't have oceans.
Yeah. But... and we never knew about it having any oceans, so... Like... So... This is Star Wars again. You just wrote Star Wars again.
I don't understand what you're getting at. It could be literally any time, ever.
It couldn't be now, because he just removed it.
No, I'm not saying... I never said how old he is. He could be thousands of years old. Millions. Billions.
Holy shit,
you don't
right.
know how long Martians live.
I was assuming their lifespan. That's just showing my privilege.
I was not thinking that far into the character.
Alright. Well, now he's a space god.
Yep. In the intervening years, he learned to harness his abilities more constructively, creating continents on ocean planets. Bomble is kind of a dick. She took over for Thel as head of oxygeneration, and after a couple of years, it was now clear that she was much better at it than him. Thel had a natural ability to produce an oxygen atmosphere, but Bomble understood the science of it. A brilliant mind, prone to whimsy, she was wont to start small fires and see how big she could get them before they spun entirely out of control, and she had to flee to avoid prosecution by whatever local firemen executioners were lingering around.
Wow.
Dombey, he was just annoying, always dropping oceans on people for kicks. Then when they complain, or more often, drown and have their families complain, he would just make silly faces and bad puns about swimming. He only works here on the terms of his release from prison, where he was incarcerated for repeatedly flooding his neighbor's apartment because of a dispute over the migratory patterns of the North Atlantic puffin. And so this haphazard collection set to work cooling the volcanic ground of the planet, raising oceans, continents, and aerating the atmosphere. Everything went smooth for the first couple of months, but as the planet began to cool, the ocean started to disappear. This annoyed Dombey to no end. He enlisted Grom's help in finding the cause. "You sure it isn't the ice caps forming?" Grom asked. "Do you think I'm a moron? I know the difference between water freezing and disappearing." "I don't know why you want my help then." Frustrated with the incompetence, it took significant concentration for him to not punch Grom in the face. "I didn't ask you here to throw out half-baked theories that lack focus on reality. I asked you here to explain these huge cracks in the ground, why they won't fill in no matter how much water I pump down there." Uh-oh. That's all Grom could manage. A meeting was caused to discuss the implication of these fissures. It was clear that Grom knew more than he was letting on, but no one could seem to squeeze it out of him. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Thel's strategy was going nowhere. He was getting tired of the repetition, but he was determined, and went on for several more minutes before Bomble had enough. "Grom, if you don't open up soon, I'll remove all the oxygen from your body with a vacuum cleaner." No, this is not my use of vacuums in this story. I did consider it. I just thought it was a funny line to say.
Alright.
I think this planet is hollow. It's going to take a lot more to make this planet habitable than we thought, because... Yes, Bomble said. "We know. We'll have to stabilize the core. It should take an entire month, double the cost, plus we have to bring in those magma guys." This was a fact that no one relished. The magma guys are dicks. Not in the impish...
The Magnum guys.
Magma guys are dicks. Not in the impish trickster way of Dombey, but more like that guy. You know, that guy. Probably me for a lot of you. You get it, though. Before they could put this plan into action, however...
I mean, I do.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
Before they could put this plan into action, however, the fissures expanded and the entire surface began to fall away. It became immediately apparent that the planet was not actually hollow, but a covering around another, smaller planet that was inhabited. Well, this isn't great. Thel's fears were being confirmed in his view. The project would have to find a new planet, assuming that these inhabitants didn't prove dangerous. As they were about to try and make contact with the people on the planet, an armada launched from the surface. "Oh, hello. Excuse us, but thank you for getting rid of that top layer. Our ancestors built it to keep people out. But we were thinking it was about time to re-enter the galactic community."
Oh, good.
Thel decided to play ambassador. "Well, hello there. You're welcome. What do you call yourselves?" "We are the Spandalos. My name is Quite Tidy." "Well, that's a unique name." "It's more of a title, really. Our ancestors were obsessed with keeping everything very clean. That's why they locked themselves away, essentially. Would you like us to clean your base? It appears to have seen better days." "It would seem some of your people are already doing just that." "Excellent. Our navy is not accustomed to waiting. They're not equipped the way most planets are said to do it. Instead, they have 2 automatic vacuum cleaners that attack dirt and dust wherever they suspect it might be hiding. They seem particularly interested in cleaning our computers. Ah, yes, they're looking for information on which races are particularly dirty and therefore should be avoided.
I don't know if I trust these guys.
Well. We also have... We'll see. We also have some technology you might be interested in exchange for this information, that is. We have particularly effective mop and broom combo, a drinkable bleach to clean the digestive tract, or these nanobots, which aren't particularly useful, but you may like them. They build wildlife. It was a failed experiment trying to get them to bathe wildlife. It just didn't work out how we thought. Yeah, I think we'll take the nanobots. It really wasn't a difficult choice, though. And so, a new force for clean entered the galaxy, and the Paragon Expansion Company was gifted a new lease on the terraforming life. They both lived happily until the next episode. The end.
Wow. They lived happily until the next episode when things are not going to go so well?
Possibly. We'll find out.
Oh, jeez. We'll find out when it's written.
Next episode may not even have them. No, it's going to have the terraforming crew. I don't know if I'll add the Spandalos or not.
Yeah. I don't know. I was excited for a new, galactic menace.
Yes. Yeah, they'll show up here and there in the future, I think. Because they are kind of funny. But I kept getting the suspicion while I was writing it that I had stolen the idea from somewhere and I couldn't figure out from where, but I don't think that's the case. Stolen the idea of an alien race that's obsessed with cleaning things. At first I thought it was from one of the Hitchhiker's Guidebooks. I don't think I stole it from anywhere, but I might have, and if I did, someone will tell me that I'm a bad person, I'm sure.
Everything's been done before. Yeah. We're just rearranging the words.
So our prompts for next time, or did you have anything else to say about my story?
Oh, no, just besides the character names as usual, I loved it. And I mean, I love the character names, but, every time you say someone's name, I'm like, this could be anyone. All right.
Yeah.
Who's Bamble?
Bomble. I said Bamble once by accident, but that's only because I typed it
that way. That could have been another character.
Yeah, it could have. No, it was Bomble, Dombey, and Grom and Thel.
Okay, I remember
quite tidy at the
Grom.
end.
Yeah, and I like him.
Yeah, he's funny.
I mean, I like all of them, but like I said, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure that Quite Tidy is your Dark Lord Edith.
He could be. That or
your Darth Vader.
But in a different way. He might be evil, but in a misguided kind of trying to help.
Yeah, I like your universe. Your universe has a playful tone to it.
Yeah, there's
not
nothing
as
quite serious going on in mine.
Not as high stakes.
Yeah. This terraforming corporation that just seems to fuck up one project after another.
Yeah.
Without any significant consequences other than a bunch of their employees died. They're a corporation, they don't care.
I've just realized that, in a bunch of your stories, I've been completely convinced that your characters were dwarves.
Yeah, the names.
Every time I listen to your stories, there's no sign. You don't say they're dwarves.
Maybe they are.
I'm completely convinced.
Maybe that's part of leaving it up to the imagination.
I guess
I mean, Bomble and Dombey sound like dwarves, but yeah. I didn't see them as dwarves when I was writing it.
No, I mean, even before you said, if they're a certain alien race, I still imagine they're just a very short alien race. Just everyone in your universe is small
to fit in with
my mind. I just want them to fit in my pocket so that I can use them as a keychain.
Yeah.
Coming soon, basically sci-fi keychains.
Maybe. Just as soon as we make them. From by hand. $50 a piece plus shipping.
Yep. Right now they're only on order. So order now. Pre-order.
Yep. You have to pay first so that I can afford to buy the materials to make them. Will probably be...
I'm going to leave that to you.
Probably be made out of old DVDs.
Whatever. I was going to say, like, wire.
No.
Like, what are they called? Vacuum...
I'll just go to Bull Moose
Vacuum, straws.
I'll just go to Bull Moose and buy grab bags of bad movies.
And that'll be your keychain. Order now. Prompts for next week. Every time when I finish writing my story, I immediately come up with the next week's prompt. Yep. Not necessarily based on where I want my story to go, just the first word that pops into my head.
Usually I wait until we're halfway through recording and then try and scribble something down. But you made me pick much earlier this time. Because I had issues, and you got ahead on the writing. Anyways, my prompt was artificial intelligence.
Right. My prompt was giant robots.
So, some combination of giant artificially intelligent robot.
Well, I always try to not go the obvious route.
Yeah, no,
but...
I've been doing that too.
Especially when they just kind of, like, seem like they were supposed to go together. Like, we came up with these
smuggler
without consulting each other.
What was one of those? We did, like, smuggling and space disease or space illness.
So, these episodes that seem like they go naturally together, we don't consult each other.
No, we come up with them.
And that actually makes it harder.
Come up with them on our own, then share them with each other. Makes it a little more difficult.
This might be harder to write a story with giant robots and AI, considering we all know where that's going.
Yeah, definitely.
We all know.
Definitely gonna have a giant RC robot in mind. like a kid's toy, essentially, except it's a giant fucking robot.
Well, I think that would be pretty dope. And if I had one when I was a kid, maybe I would be a more better adjusted adult.
You probably would have murdered your brother and be serving time right now.
Well, I didn't murder my brother. I got sent out of the house and sent to boarding school, so that never happened.
Then he wasn't allowed to go to boarding school because you got kicked out too fast.
What? I mean, edited. Note edited. As always, very funny story. Thank you. And thanks to everyone listening for tuning in again.
Yeah.
As usual, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, down the street. But, say hi. Don't just, avoid eye contact.
No, I would prefer if you kept it real awkward.
I like to follow people till they come to an elevator and then get in with them.
No, I don't get in with them. I just stop and stare at them as the doors close.
And they hold the door open for you, like, you getting on?
Nope. Just gonna stare.
Just saying goodbye. Follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, down the street, into the elevator. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
And see you next time.
Bye.